Hello everyone. Thank you for coming up today. My old subscribers, thank you. And to those that are viewing for the first time or that have not subscribed, please click on the subscribe button and the notification bell so you get notified each time we upload a new video. And to my new subscribers, thank you for subscribing. There is an update in regards to a video that I posted a few days ago about a young man who tied up his lover on the bed, tied both hands and legs to the bed and burnt her to death. This is the update right now about this particular guy who has been on the run, but right now he's been faced with particular charges on this case. The middle-aged man who on Thursday, that was last week, allegedly killed his girlfriend in Nijuri, that's in Nairobi, Kenya. And on Wednesday morning, that is today, he was caught attempting to commit suicide by jumping off a story building in Nairobi. A manhunt had been launched for the suspect, that's for this particular guy, by the security agencies in Kenya after it was reported that he killed his girlfriend Margaret, a resident of Nijiri in the same Kenya where he is from as well. And after she had invited him over to his house to settle differences, that was when this guy used that as an opportunity to kill this particular lady. Also, she had medical training and operated a private clinic, and she had 2 house helps, and also she had a 4-year-old son. And the suspect was carrying a backpack when he arrived at the deceased home by 8 a.m. on that same day, on Thursday, when he carried out this incident. Margaret, who is 34 years, the mother of one, that's a 4-year-old boy, sent out her maids, that's Nyemasu and Naila, to buy meat at the nearby butcher's shop after her boyfriend had arrived. And these were her exact words. That's coming from one of the maids who had to narrate and explain what happened prior to her madam's death. She said her madam told them to go out and get a pound of meat before she and her boyfriend was left alone in the house. Let me read exactly what the house help had to say. She told us she would pay via M-Pesa wallet. When we reached the butcher's shop and ordered the meat costing 500 Kenya currency, we called our employer and asked her to send the money, but she said she hadn't loaded cash in her wallet. Subsequently, we left the meat and returned home. Upon arrival, Margaret, who was visibly irritated, asked us why we couldn't let her talk in private with her boyfriend. She thereafter gave us the 500 Kenya currency cash and told us to go buy the meat and hang out around until she was ready to have us back in the house. Hours passed by and we hadn't received a call from her. Then one of us called and told her that we were hungry and wanted to go back home and eat. But Margaret, whose intention was to keep us out longer, sent us money and said we should eat at any nearby restaurant. This is the narration of one of the nannies. And however, the nannies now said while they were having their meals, one of their neighbors called and informed them that their house was on fire. And this was what the second nanny had to say. We rushed home and found smoke billowing from our boss's bedroom. Neighbors had attempted to put out the fire. On accessing our employer's room, we found her arms and legs tied to the bed and her body charred by the flames. Her face was completely destroyed by fire. Her estranged lover was nowhere to be seen. And after efforts by the neighbors to put out the fire on that same Wednesday night, before this incident happened, one of the nannies said she heard her boss speaking with her own lawyer on the phone, saying that her estranged boyfriend was demanding 37,000 Kenya currency, which she had lent from him, that she borrowed this money from her boyfriend who eventually killed her. And the nanny said this was exactly what she said. She said the man had threatened to come collect the money today, that is being that same Thursday that he killed her. But at the same time, right now, it's generally still remains unclear whether the suspect killed Margaret over the debt, or was it a case of love gone sour. And even when police arrived at the scene at 4:30 p.m. on that same Thursday last week and collected Margaret's body for preservation and city mortuary, they looked at it like it could be that something had actually gone wrong for this fire to have happened. It's either some activity was going on and then the fire took up, or was it as a result of the debt that she was owing this boyfriend that he had to do this. However, a dramatic scene was recorded on Tuesday, that is yesterday, after the Directorate of Criminal Investigation traced the suspect to his own building by tracking his cell phone signals. That was the way they were able to access where he was living. And he was found holding knives while threatening to harm himself. And authorities had to plead with him not to harm himself with the knives or fatally jump off the 4-story building, because that was what he was attempting to do. And he said that if he has to be arrested, then he must die first. So it's like, on the other hand, right now, he's even threatening the cops that came to arrest him that if they are coming here to arrest him, he'll rather kill himself. Someone who has committed a heavy crime is now trying to avoid facing the charges of the crime, this gruesome act that he carried. Now he's trying to threaten them if they are coming here to arrest him, which of course he knows that they are there to arrest him, that he is going to kill himself first. And you can see from the clip that you see the man out there standing there by the edge of the building. There's a 4-story building. He's trying to jump off from this particular building. I know obviously from this height, if he jumps down, is instant death. And he's still holding a knife as well at the same time. And look at the pretty lady that he killed for whatever reasons best known to him. Right now the speculation is, was it because of the money, or was it as a result of something went wrong while they were spending time together? These are the speculations that the police is actually trying to get out of this whole incident that has happened. But it's such a pity that Margaret, the mother of one, had to go like that. I feel so sorry for her little boy, who would now be left without a mother. He would now be left in the care of some other people. And it's such a pain that his mom is gone so soon in such a young age. And for this man who carried out this gruesome act, he already knows what he has done. And that's why he is running away. But why do you have to go to this extent? Irrespective of anything, if it has to do with the money, you can always recover your money back. But lives can't be recovered back. This lady is gone. His money he can never even get it again, because right now the cops are already there, because from all indications they are not letting him commit any form of suicide. He has to face the law. He has to face the crime charges for what he has committed. Killing someone in such a gruesome manner, wow, it's so terrible that people would think of carrying out an evil act on their fellow human being without any remorse, without any form of fear or holding themselves back. But the police has made every effort to ensure that he doesn't kill himself. So that this is just happening today, this morning, so as to ensure that he will now come into their custody and he will be faced with the charges that he is meant to have as a result of this particular evil, horrible act he has carried out on this young woman. Please, people should also be careful. You can see what has now transpired. No one is very sure if it's because of the money or something else, but for him to have threatened her life and said he's coming that same day to get his money, there could be a possibility that because of the money that he actually took up this act on her, maybe she didn't have the money to pay him back, or probably she told him of another day when she's going to pay and it didn't seem well or okay for him. But for him to tie her on the bed, does it mean she was already dead when he tied her and set her body on fire so that nobody would know? Or does it mean that she consented to him tying her arms and her legs to the bed? No one can really say. Well, that's why her body has already been taken for autopsy, so that they can also find out if probably there were some other injuries in her body aside from the fire, because it really burnt her face so much and the flames had already covered up her whole body. This woman must have died in pain if she was alive before this happened to her. That is, if the guy hadn't taken her life already and then tied her to the bed before he killed her. Otherwise, I know that they will definitely come out with some certainties or some results as to how she died. And this guy, definitely he would confess, because when you're taken into custody and you're being tortured, even if you don't want to speak up, you will be forced to speak the truth. People should just be very mindful of who they even go and get money from. Some people can be very nice giving it to you, but once you don't pay back when you're supposed to pay, then you are in for it. And please learn to keep to your words. If you have gone to someone and you have said, please lend me some money, and the person willingly give you that money, please try as much as you can to pay back when you have promised to pay back. And if you are unable to pay, don't wait till that deadline or the date you've told this person you will pay back. Please speak up and tell the person, explain to the person you're unable to get this money on the set date, but you will try, and then make effort. Let this person see you making some efforts. So right now they don't even know if that's the reason why she died, because she was unable to pay him back the money she owed him. But notwithstanding, people should still be very, very mindful, and mindful of the kind of friends you keep. A friend who claims that he is loving somebody, he is a lover to someone. If you truly love someone, you won't carry out this act. You can even tell her at any time when you are free, you can pay me back. That is how it is meant to have been with someone you claim you love, someone who even has a child. You can just tell her that anytime, feel free, relax and take your time. That's why you people are together. But when there is that stranger, there is no freedom. Even when the person has lent money from you and you guys are together dating, and then you even threaten her, then that is not love. Probably he had his own ulterior motive of being with her. Someone you love, you won't kill the person because of money. Someone you love, you won't threaten the person because of money. And someone you love, you won't even be stringent on the deadline for him or her to pay back, except you had borrowed this money from like a bank. We know what banks, they can always come at you when you don't pay back at your deadline, except in situations like that. Or you had to go somewhere else to borrow this money to give to your friend. Then you make the person understand that, please, this is not my money. I took it from someone else or from an organization, and I'm expected to pay back. Otherwise, this is the consequences I'll face. Then that other person would make efforts. It's on that situation that you know that you can disturb the person, that please try and make up this payment. But when it's your own money and then this is the person you're dating, then where is the love? If you can't forgo the money because probably you need the money for something else, then allow this person, whenever you are free, you can pay back. And please, there should be a proper agreement when it has to do with money, because some people, They don't know friendship when it has to do with money. They don't even know brother, sister, husband, or wife when it has to do with money. So that's why I'm saying you should be careful and study the person whom you're going to borrow money from, because not all of them that will willingly give you will be willing to be patient until you pay. And if you miss your deadline, you may not find it funny with that person. You may get the other side of the person. So be mindful, be careful to know who you want to go and lend money from. And also be careful of whom you're trying to give your money to. Some people, you willingly give it to them, they deliberately don't want to pay you back. Not that they don't have this money, they have it, but out of being mean and being ungrateful, they decide to hold back that money until you stress yourself out so much. And some eventually don't pay the money at all. Some even disappear and you don't see them again. So it's a two-way thing. Be mindful of whom you borrow your money to, and also be mindful of who you get this money from. It goes both ways, because if you're not careful, you will end up having to go through a lot, or even losing your life, which this lady has lost her own life. May the soul of Margaret rest in perfect peace with the Lord. May Almighty God console the little boy, and may he be in the care and the love of someone who would just love him and care for him like their own child. May God console her entire family members, friends, and every other person that knew her. It's such a pity that she had to go like this. Friends, what do you think about this? Is it better for the guy to kill himself and then jump out of the story building? Or is it better that the cops should get hold of him and let him pay for this death he has caused on this particular woman? What do you all think about it? Please, whatever you think, put that down at the comment section below. Your comments are highly important. Thank you for coming up today. Please, for those that have not subscribed, click on the subscribe button and the notification bell so you get notified each time we upload a new video. Once again, thank you. God bless you all.